Alright. Hello again for what might be the last time. We'll see. There's only a little bit left, but you know. It depends. Okay, Simon has finally found the Ark and must now take it with him to Phi, where he can launch it into space. And yeah, we're pretty close. All right. Yeah. See, a lot of crazy stuff happened last time. With Sarah Lindwall and all that. Uh-oh. We gotta get all the water out. Hello? Is that not it? Oh. Okay. And that's the end of... Okay, never mind. Never mind. I'm not gonna do that joke again. Just Simon dies every single time. Well. Okay, it's on the move. It's being transferred over. Hopefully nothing bad happens to it. On the way over. I never thought it needed to be explained, but I guess I never really explained it. The reason why I have a flashlight all of a sudden is because it's part of the suit. That's what I mean. I assume everyone already got that, but like, you know, that's why salmon. Oh my god, salmon. It's not a fish. I don't know why I said that. Simon. Uh-oh. Simon before was like, you know, before he realized that he was a robot, he just had this flashlight and was like, "What? Where did I get a flashlight?" What? He's very confused, but just in case if it never needed to be said, there you go. All right, so it went through there, but I can't. I don't think I could get through here. I need to go around. I need to go in a different direction. Oh my god. Oh my god. I forgot who that was for a second. I was so scared. I was like, what? I forgot. That's Ross. He's terrifying, but he is trying to help. He's trying to lead us in the right direction. Because in order to get to where we're trying to get to, we're gonna have to go through Alpha, the station named Alpha, and that is where they built the WoW. So it all originates from there. It's definitely where he wants us to go. What? Are these... Weird. Bioluminescent shrimp? Is that what these are? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I guess just follow the tentacles. Okay. Yep, this is it. All of them are coming from there. What if I go this way? Oh, it's a dead end. Okay. I didn't know if he was gonna, like, stop me and make me go back or something. Well, here we go. This is it. Site Alpha. Which, by the way, is the Greek letter for, or it's the first letter in the Greek alphabet or something like that. You know. Which has meaning that, because it's where the WoW originates, you know? It's just floating there. And it's, like, completely taken over. Which would make sense. And this place is, pretty bad shape, I will say. Like, it's even, like, crazy because the the power to these things are shut off. Like, you could just open the door. You don't even need to, like, mechanically open it with the Omni tool or anything. You just open it. I can't go over there. Okay. Yeah. And the thing is, like, wow, even that, like, symbol, that sign, that circle is, like, the WoW, pretty much, and the things coming from it. I mean, I don't know if that's intentional, but, like, that's in the context of, like, the characters in the game. I don't know if they made that symbol like that intentionally, but, I mean, the people who created this game, definitely, that's intentional. That circle is literally the WoW, and the yellow things are the tentacles coming from it. Triangle is the site itself, and it's like reaching out to everything else. I mean, you know, that's just whatever. Just basic. Not trying to be like a snob about it, you know. I'm not trying to like you know, say this is like genius stuff and I'm super smart for pointing it out, but like, you know, all of those things are true. I'm just not saying it out loud. I mean, this is all just the WoW, essentially. Okay.
Just tell me what you want.
I need you to stop the WoW.
What? How?
The enslaved protein sloshing around your suit is the noose from which the WoW will hang itself.
What are you talking about?
As soon as I came to in Omicron, I tried to tell them to make the toxin that would make the WoW wither, but they didn't understand. They put it inside a cabinet. It was so infuriating. They needed to take it to Alpha, the fountainhead of the misery we created. And then a girl. She figured it out. She was going to take care of it, but the WoW shrieked. venomous snake.
You're saying this toxin inside of me can kill the WoW altogether?
You are the snake, Simon. Now strike at the heart.
Yep. So, what he said there kind of makes me think that... Oh god. What? Gross. This one's moving. Okay, anyway, what he said there makes me wonder a little bit. He said that because she figured it out and she was going to like set things right. She was going to come down here. Herb or whatever. She was gonna come down here. That's why she was in this suit that I am now in, because I'm in her body technically. It's weird, but anyway, she she figured it out, and she was going to come down here and destroy the WoW. And then he says that the WoW shrieked because it figured out what she was gonna do. And I think what that means is that, like, that's why everyone's head exploded. So I don't think... Oh, no, it's the lungs. Gross. Oh, he's in there. He's just waiting. Ugh, alright. Well, anyway, so when the WoW, quote-unquote, shrieked, it blew up all their heads because they had the black boxes in there, and it used that. And, I thought, originally, that, like, each one of them got their head exploded for one reason or another. But the way he explained that, I think it just did that because she was going to come down. Like, I don't think it really cared what everyone else was doing. I think it just exploded everyone's heads in there just to make sure that, like, okay, I don't want, because the WoW doesn't want it to be stopped. You know, it goes against its programming, which is to preserve human life. Ironically, killing a bunch of humans is what it saw as preserving human life. Very crazy stuff, because, you know, if she were to come down here and stop it, then it could no longer preserve human life. So getting rid of her was like a part of the equation, if you will. But yeah, that's just, I think that's very fascinating. I won't say the other word because I say that a lot, but it is, though. Anyway, let's go. So it just killed everyone there. And there it is.
What the hell is that?
Heart. It controls all the structure gel on Pathos 2. All you need to do is poison the imprint, and the heart will unwillingly spread it across Pathos 2, killing it. Feed it, Simon. Push your arm into the heart.
Okay, so... Oh, I can't go back.
Do it.
I can't go back. Okay, so... This is another choice. Another big choice. I can actually kill the WoW.
Continue producing its filth. Kill it.
Take it easy.
I can kill the WoW, or I can just leave.
Just force your arm inside it.
Back off, okay?
Yeah, give me some time to think about it.
You can't leave. We're not done.
Okay, so I'm not gonna leave. Not yet.
Please, Simon.
So, here's the thing. This is another huge choice here. We've seen what the WoW can do. We've seen the horrific, disgusting display this entire
Let
game.
the earth be consumed by wows like this.
And the thing is, my initial thought is just like, yes, obviously kill it.
Do it.
But let me just pause it so I no more interruptions here. Anyway, so my initial thought, obviously, is to kill it, because it's like, why would I let this thing live after everything that's going on here? But with the WoW dead, all the people that are hooked up to it that are having a very bad time, like Amy from I don't know, part 2 or something of this playthrough. It was way back. She was from Site Upsilon, where we started all of this. So yeah, that Amy. And so she was having a bad time. If we were to kill the WoW, eventually it would probably like end her suffering if we left her alive. That is, we already killed her by this point, but there could be other people out there that we just don't even know about, that we have not come across, and we couldn't save, that are just hooked up to the WoW and are miserable, and they're just forced to stay alive for all eternity or whatever, however long they could survive. But then again, so if I kill the WoW now, right here, people like Amy could be saved. At least, you know, like, I mean, death is probably preferable to what she was, the situation she was going in. But there are probably other people who are hooked up to the WoW that are actually having a good time, that are living their fantasies, like what we saw with Simon when he was hooked up to the WoW. Like all those other people that are hooked up to it, are like having a great life, having their, you know, in their fantasies. But we don't know like what their situations are like ultimately. Like they could be stuck in there and think to themselves like, oh, this is not real. Like maybe they figured it out already, like Simon did eventually. But unlike Simon, they can't just pull themselves out of it, you know? They can't just wake up and pull themselves out of it. They're stuck there. Or maybe some of them are just living out the fantasy. It's like, all right, well, I'm here anyway, so you might as well. Killing the WoW will ultimately end their existence too. And I don't know who said this. I can't remember who said this, but they brought up a good point. Which is like what if the WoW figures out a way in the future to actually preserve human life in a better way than it has been already. Like and we kind of see it too, like with the artificial lungs and stuff. That could have been like hooked up to Amy. That could have been like an early version of the WoW. It was like, oh well, my programming is to preserve human life. That's what I'm doing here. I hooked up some fake lungs to her and stuff, and she was not living in a fantasy. She was fully awake and just like kept alive. So it did not work out for her. But then later on, we figured out that, you know, it may have evolved a little bit because it started to create the fantasies and stuff for people that are hooked up to it. So what, maybe, you know, what would happen if you kept it alive for even longer? Like, what if it could actually bring people back who are dying? I don't like that. I don't know. If you pause the game for long enough, you start hearing noises. I don't like that at all. I've never paused the game for this long before, so don't like that. Anyway, I mean, at least I hope that's the game. Could be in my apartment somewhere. Anyway, so that's the dilemma that I have right now. I actually think it was Markiplier said that, maybe not. I can't remember who exactly said that, but so if I let it live, it could maybe eventually figure out a way. It could evolve enough to actually preserve human life and start, like, you know, I don't know, reanimating people. It could actually evolve into something as good as the Ark, even. You know? But right now, we just don't know. Could be the opposite. Could be just, it just brings a bunch of people back and makes them all into the monsters that we've been running into. Those are all of the creation of the WoW. So like, you know, it's just it's an interesting concept. Sorry, fascinating concept. So yeah, this is a harder decision than I once thought, because originally I was just like, yes, kill it, obviously, but you know, like, we're gonna end the lives of those people who are living in their fantasy worlds and stuff, but you know, but there's also other people who are suffering, you know what I mean? And I don't like the idea of that. I don't like, I mean, this might be a hot take, but I don't like people suffering. Sorry if that's a controversial.
Back off, okay?
Yeah, back off, whoever is speaking. But yeah, just, you know, sorry if that's a controversial opinion. But yeah, I think there's too many people suffering, and we don't even know. We haven't come across a lot of other people who might be suffering. Who we couldn't save. But doing this will save it. So I'm gonna do it. But I do not... I don't know, man. I think it's the best option we got. It's so disgusting, though. That's the only that's the only other thing. It's so gross. Gross.
It's working!
It took my hand. I'm basically like Luke Skywalker now. This is basically just a ripoff of Star Wars. I knew it.
Please. I did what you wanted.
You did good, Simon. But you can't leave. The only way to make sure the WoW stays dead is to destroy the only one who's immune to the new pattern. Don't worry. I'll make it quick.
Oh god!
That was Leviathan. It's another... Oh god. It's another WoW creature. It infused itself with... I have to run because it's chasing me. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I have to run. But yeah, it's a big sea creature that the WoW infused with, so that's why it came in to kill Ross just now, because it was like... Ooh, I can heal myself. So it's because I was doing this that I was like... And the stuff, I guess, that I was like... Was it the, I don't know, the structure gel that he was talking about? But it was using the structure gel, so it might have been something else. Oh, there it is. I don't know, I have to, like, figure that out, you know? Yeah, it's just waiting for me to get out. Run! Follow the lights. There's the space gun. It's right there. We need to go. I hate that. What am I even supposed to do? It's a big old fish. I'm so close. Hide under these rocks. Go away. Your presence is not wanted. I'm so close. It's coming back. Oh, whoa. That's, I mean, I don't think it was supposed to do that, but, whatever, it still worked. Gotta, like, hide behind stuff. Hopefully it can't get to me while I'm doing this. Well, I mean, they knew at this point. They were like, oh yeah, they're gonna need some health. Where is he? Where is he? Oh god, he's coming. Just missed me. Right there, man. Right there. We're right there, man. Couldn't get to me. We did it. We made it. Oh my god. Okay, Okay, we did it. We're finally here.
This has to be Phi, right? Hope the Ark made it here in one piece.
Yeah, it's, it was on its way here during all of that, so... You know. Locked. So yeah, hopefully the Ark made it here, you know? It would suck so much if there was another monster here, but I think we're safe.
Chris, what the hell happened to your arm?
It's complicated. I just need to know one thing. I'll have both my arms in the Ark, right?
Yes, of course. Are you okay, though? Can you do stuff?
Yeah. Let's just get this over with.
Did you find the Ark?
I did, but I kinda lost it on my way here on an automated tram thing headed to Phi, so it should be around somewhere.
That's great. Let's go get it. Alright, Phi is up and running.
Here's the site map. Alright. So I'm the green thing. I think the yellow dot is where the Ark is. Just put in storage. I think.
Did you find out what happened to the Ark team?
Not really. For some reason, they didn't go through with the launch, so they took the Ark back to Tau.
I hope everything's okay with the space gun.
Yeah, I doubt I'll be able to repair one of those.
A satellite is loaded into a shell. The shell is accelerated by electromagnets along the barrel. Enough momentum to escape Earth's gravity is gained before regression. Reaching space, the satellite will shed the shell and unfold. Onboard thrusters settle the satellite into an orbit.
So yep, that's how it's gonna work, and we're gonna put the Ark in there. Blast it off into space. Alright, incoming. This is like... That was the team. The stuff with, 1227. The people coming here to the station was Jay Hill and Ivishkin, I don't know. I can never pronounce it. I don't know. Si Chun S. Lindwall, who we saw. The last human on Earth that we had to put down, unfortunately, but, you know, just was not a good life. And I, Peterson, like, that was the team that were gonna launch the Ark. But, that last one was 511 R. Herber, because she was gonna come down here. But, well, we know what happened with her. And in a way, not technically, but, you know, some would say that she did make it here because we are now in her body. It's not technically her, but it is her body. Her SOMA, if you will. Did I just blow your minds? I don't know. I have no idea, but because SOMA is it's the Greek word for body. I think that's very intentional. You know, because it doesn't really matter. It's like the body and the mind are, you know, are separate, but like, but you kind of need both, you know, to do stuff. It took Simon's mind and Herber's body to get down here and launch the Ark. It's not even like the real Simon. It's just a robot Simon. It's just a brain scan from way back in the day. Unsigned R. Herbert visit. Okay. Okay, okay, so these are other projects and like satellites and stuff that were launched already. So this was a remote sensing satellite. And they launched it. This one was a communications satellite. Reconnaissance satellite. Weather satellite. After 10 years of impeccable operation, the Omega space gun will shut down. But it took an apocalypse to be made redundant. So this was here before the apocalypse. So that's interesting. On hold. Oh, they didn't even launch that one. Oh, I think that's pretty cool. It's a pretty interesting observation here. It's like this Pathos 2 and these stations were here, like, before. Like, they didn't just build it because the world was ending. I think that's interesting. It makes sense.
This feels like the longest day of my life. Has it just been one day?
I have no idea. Our time together is a confusing patchwork of moments to me.
What time is it then? What day?
It's May 11th, 2104, 3:30 a.m., but I don't remember when we started.
Okay. She said May 11th. Right? Hang on. Yeah. She said May 11th. So that's us. The activity there. Unsigned R. Herbert visit. Incoming. Like, that's us. Because technically we're in the body of Herbert. Even though it's actually Simon, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
You know, I woke up in my bed today. It just happens to have happened 100 years ago.
Sounds like a riddle.
It does. I woke up in my bed today, 100 years ago. Who am I? Who am I?
Who indeed? I think this is where we gotta go. Loading dock. Pretty sure this is, maybe. I don't know. Oh man, he's gotta wrap his arm around it.
It's crazy to think where I am. Not only is this the future, it's in the middle of the sea. I know nothing of this time or what the world looks like.
Not much to brag about now. Before the comet, I guess it was okay.
Yeah. Better not oversell it. Might change my mind about the Ark.
You seriously not gonna tell me what happened to your arm?
I had to make a quick stop at Site Alpha to help kill the WoW.
What? How? Why?
Stop it from torturing the memory of humanity.
Okay, let's just get back to work.
What will you do when you get into the Ark? What's the first thing?
Make sure the Ark is safe, stabilize flight path, activate solar panels.
Oh, what's the first human thing you're gonna do?
Oh. Watch the clouds roll by? Does that count?
I'd say so.
Alright. He's using this to... Let's see what happens if I do this. Because the WoW is not, like, dead yet. It'll just spread it around. That's what Ross says. Or he said it. So that's why these are still up and operational. It didn't kill the WoW, like, immediately, but, you know. It's going to. It's gonna spread like a virus to the other WoW stuff. Oh. Uh-oh, hang on. Maybe I shouldn't have... Okay, I got the flashlight, it's fine. Who is this?
Are you suggesting we keep it down here? Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose? Eternity among the stars, remember?
The people inside the Ark won't know the difference. We can just keep it down here, and we don't have to risk the Ark being shot through 5,000 meters of broken barrel, and then push through another 100,000 meters of a dust-filled atmosphere.
Will the casing stand all that pressure?
Well, the odds aren't great.
Catherine, say something.
I don't care what you think. I'm launching it.
No need to be like that. Let's just hang on to it for a while and think about it. We can launch it later.
No, that wasn't the deal. We made it to save them. To launch it. Out there, it's hope. Down here, it's a fucking terrarium waiting to die with the rest of us.
Come on, Catherine. It's not asking much. Let's just think about it before we risk the only hope humanity has to survive this hell.
No, we launch it today. This is my project, my Ark.
It's bigger than that. Don't you get it? It's not for you to decide. We're talking about the fate of mankind.
Get away from the Ark! I'm taking it.
No, you're not.
I'm not gonna let you ruin this.
Stop it!
Guys, calm down.
Get away from me! No!
was an accident.
Catherine, talk to me. Catherine.
Oh, God. Catherine,
Did you say something?
it's you. You had an accident.
What do you... Oh. You mean Catherine. Don't worry, it's better this way. How
Yep,
did you
there's
die?
You got
Catherine.
into a fight with your colleagues. They didn't want to risk launching the Ark. Thought it might not make it through the atmosphere.
They killed me?
I'm sure it was an accident. They were just trying to stop you from launching.
How could they kill me?
Catherine,
I know I'm not an easy person to like. I just thought they trusted me.
come on. Don't do this to yourself.
That's not even where she died originally. They like drug her over there? Is that the
Did you have friends in Toronto, Simon?
past tense
Real
of that? I
friends?
don't know.
There was some. Jesse, Sean.
Dragged her
Kevin?
over.
I always wanted a friend. Like a real one. Someone you'd never hold back with.
I'll be your friend.
Oh, pity friendship? Now I feel even worse.
Hey, you know, pity friendship is the best kind. Because you know they won't leave you
All right. Found the Ark.
out
Good
of
job,
pity.
Simon. Now we just need to find the assembly space and stuff the Ark into a shell.
Do you think the Ark will make it through the atmosphere and into space?
It almost doesn't matter anymore. We just need to try. If we burn, we burn. If we're lucky, we just gave humanity a new chance, a whole new era. With the Ark on Earth, maybe we have a few decades of power to keep it running. In space, we have thousands of years.
Still, one hell of a gamble, though.
This was never about certainty. It's about hope.
Yeah, the yeah, this is it. This is the quote unquote bullet that we're gonna use. Put in there. So maybe this is what killed her? I'm confused. So she was like fighting over, like trying to get the Ark back. And got her head smashed with something, I don't know. I think it was the Ark itself, because this trail of blood, I don't think she was dragged in here anymore. I think she was killed here because they were trying to launch the Ark, and then the other team members were having second thoughts here. They were like thinking that we could just keep it here and have it activate here, which is, I think, what Sarah Lindwall had going on when we found her in the in the infirmary. She had it active. It was on. So the people on the Ark were probably like walking around and doing stuff. It was probably active. So she probably died from the Ark itself, which is very ironic. Maybe fell on her or something? I don't know. Or this wrench really, really makes me wonder if he like hit her with it or something. Like I don't know. Like why is the wrench so bloody? You know what I mean? Maybe it wasn't such an accident. I'm not sure. But anyway, so she died in here, and then they put the Ark back up here, and I think the Ark had blood on it. That's why it was trailing because it's using this. Although, I guess the blood is over here. The track isn't that way, so... I don't know. Maybe they did drag Catherine in there. I don't know. Or they just picked it up. Maybe. They picked up the ark and it was dripping blood. And they put it over here. Oh, yeah, okay, so they put it on here. That might be it. They put it on here, and the blood was dripping off of it. I guess? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. And then they brought it over here, and then put it up there, and then they can, you know, transfer the ark back over to where it was. So yeah, there's a lot to say about that. And actually I want to check something. There was a door up here that I didn't go up to, I didn't go through. I just want to check, see if there's anything up there. I think I might have to do it anyway, but I just want to make sure. Might have to come back here. Okay, yeah, this is where I have to go, so that's why. Oh wait. Yeah, this is where I came from. I came through here and plugged Catherine back in, so that's where I'm supposed to go, but not yet. Just wanted to make sure. I didn't, like, miss anything here. Okay, I think we're going to need more power over here. Yeah, it just came in here. I already got the power from there. Gotta come back over here. And there we go. And there we go. I am still very curious as to what happened to Catherine. Like, how exactly did she die? Did she, like, get hit from the cart? Is that why the cart is so bloody? She, like, slipped and hit her head on it? Like, would it do that much damage? Like, they were, like, fighting over the ark. Like, maybe they were, you know, playing tug of war with it. You know, maybe she slipped and hit herself. This thing is all crooked, so I wonder if there's like a blood stain on it or something. I don't know. Maybe it smacked her in the head. I have no idea. But there's enough there to make me wonder. Payload detected.
Is that it?
I'm really not that familiar with guns of any size. Oh, here we go. All systems say go.
Lock and load.
Come back up and we'll head out to the gun.
And it's gonna automatically turn on once it's in space. There it goes. Alright. So now we can leave. By leave, I mean like leave this area and go back up, up the ladder.
Now what?
Now we just need to get the shell into the gun and then, kaboom.
Aren't you forgetting something? How are you gonna get us on board the Ark? Don't we need to make another scan?
Oh, don't you worry. You don't operate something like the Omega space gun with your bare hands.
You mean it's a pilot seat? Like back at Omicron?
Yes, and we can use it to transfer you to the Ark while operating the gun. 2 birds and all that. Now, take the Omnitool and plug it in next to the seat and I'll guide you through the final steps.
Okay. Here we go. Launching the Ark. Here I go launching again. There we go. Alright. And there it is. The space gun. Okay. It's been a long journey, but here we are. So yeah, we're gonna launch it now. Hopefully this works. I was gonna say something, but I completely forgot what it was, so. There'll be more to talk about, I'm sure.
Oh, I'll never get used to that.
Guess you won't have to. Not after this is over.
Right. Have a seat.
Right.
Comfortable?
As good as it's gonna get.
Okay, I'll activate the seat. You should be able to use the machines to load the bullet you assembled.
How do you operate this thing?
Don't know, I never tried this one. But pilot seats are notoriously easy to use, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, here we go. I'm actually controlling it. I didn't know. I forgot. Sorry. Okay, is there like a way to rotate it? Okay. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what am I supposed to do? I'm just smacking it around. Like, whoops. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so nervous. I mean, my god. I've played this game so many times. I know how this ends. But I'm still like, ugh. This could go so wrong.
There we go.
Here we go.
Okay, ready when you are. Just hit the button and we're off.
But we need to transfer our minds to the Ark.
We also need to make sure it launches at all, so I tied them to a single switch. Just push the button and we're off.
Here we go.
Here we go. No turning back.
Thank you, Simon.
No turning back.
Don't mention
It's an amazing thing you did. And I want you to know I appreciate it.
Get our minds scanned.
Time, 20 seconds.
What's the matter with the upload?
Wearing SOMA template.
Thought you guys would have better bandwidth.
I hate this so much. Catherine's already done.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7.
It's like, come on, dude. Come on. They're so cruel to do this.
3,
Do it.
Fuck yeah, we made it!
They're so cruel to do that. It's just like,
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Yep. Remember how the brain scans work.
I'm here.
What the hell happened? What went wrong?
Nothing. They're out there, among the stars. We're here.
No. We were getting on the Ark. I saw it. It finished loading just before it launched.
Yeah, I saw.
Then why are we still here?
Simon, I can't keep telling you how it works. You won't listen. You know why we're here. You were copied onto the Ark. You just didn't carry over. You lost the coin toss. We both did. Just like Simon at Omicron, just like the man who died in Toronto 100 years ago.
No, this is bullshit. We came all this way. We launched the Ark.
I know it sucks, but our copies are up there. Catherine and Simon are both safe on the Ark. Be happy for them.
Are you crazy? We're gonna die down here with those fuckers living at large on a spaceship. They're not us. They're not us.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Simon. I'm proud of what we did. We made sure that something of the hundreds of thousands of years of human history survives, that something lives on.
No. Fuck this. Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck you, Catherine. You lied. And I believed in you. I trusted you. You said we're getting on the fucking Ark.
We are on the Ark, you idiot! I didn't lie. I can't be responsible for your goddamn ignorance. You
Fuck! Catherine? Please don't leave me alone. Catherine? Catherine?
She basically hit him with the, I'm sorry you feel that way, dude. So yeah, that was SOMA. It's, yeah. Again, if you're paying attention, you know how the brain scans work. But there was always just that little crumb of hope that it's like, maybe this brain scan works that way? Like, you can actually get onto the Ark yourself, but nope. That's, oh, this music is so good. It's just, it's perfect for that, like. In the, yeah, it's just like, I don't even know. I don't even know what to even say anymore. But yeah, we did it. We launched the Ark. And, And the thing that I pointed out in the, I think it was the previous part to all this. I think it was the that I noticed something about the about the Omni tool was that it was glitching. So it was, and I think Catherine also made a comment about her vision was being limited more, and she was like, it was something like that, and then she said, I hope it's not the Omni tool falling apart. Well, there it was. But yeah, Catherine, she is no longer there. She broke. So yeah, that was Soma. Pretty great game. Pretty thought-provoking. Pretty great. And nothing else will ever happen. That was definitely the end of the game. Oh. Well, here we go.
Whoa. Is this... Did it work?
So yeah, we did it. Look at that. We did it. We made it on the Ark. We were always meant to be here. Look at that. This is a lot nicer than the other, all of the, like, the environment of the entire game that thus far. That we were trying to get through. Can I go this way? Wow. So yeah, we did it. We're here. This is the Ark. And this is actually what's in the pictures. We saw pictures of this bridge in this area. And Amy's room, I think, and she like drew on the pages and stuff, on the pictures, I mean. And she put she drew like a boat in the water. Oh, I can go in the water. Look at that. She like drew a boat in the water and people in here. Yeah, look at this. This is the quiz that we took that was supposed to be on the Ark, and here it is. They put it on here. Welcome. If you are reading this, you have successfully entered the Ark. This survey is designed to give the developers a better understanding of your subjective experience and how to improve your well-being. Please continue with the survey. So now, knowing everything we know now, knowing what we went through to get here, we can maybe reevaluate our previous answers and stuff. Because I think these are all the same questions. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Maybe they added one or two or something. I don't know. Changed one up. But I'm pretty sure that this is like the same questionnaire, you know, same thing. How would you describe your physical condition? 1, I feel normal. 2, I feel invigorated. A better version of myself. 3, I feel alien. I'm a visitor inside another body. Or 4, I feel fake, no longer a real person. I'll say I feel normal. How would you describe your mental condition? So this is the thing. This is probably going by if I'm gonna answer these, I probably will answer how Simon would answer them. Because he has no knowledge of what just transpired, but what we saw. Because again, remember how the brain scans work from this Simon's perspective. He did it. He made it onto the Ark. Like the brain scans work, and he did it. And he made it on. But I mean, we know the truth, but he doesn't. So I feel disconnected, separation of my body. I feel altered. A change in character. I feel lost. I don't exist anymore. I'd say he feels normal, probably. How would you describe your senses? As expected, normal? I feel more sensitive to and aware of my surroundings. I feel blocked, as if my senses are numb. I'm lacking one or more of my natural senses. I'll say the first one, probably. He probably feels normal. I mean, yeah. That's how perfect the brain scans work. How would you describe the sensation of your new condition? It's pleasant. I don't like it. Something is wrong. 3, it's disconcerting. Everything feels constructed. Or 4, depressing. I can't shake the feeling of it all being fake. Again, I could definitely see some people choosing that one. Because if you know it's all fake, you know, you might feel depressed about it, you know? You might feel awful about the whole thing. But you know what? I'm going to say it's pleasant because I think this is much better than... you know, living here is much better than living back where we were. In a dead planet. Stupid robot on a stupid dead planet. Dead world, or whatever Simon said before. Are you troubled by the fact that you are no longer strictly human? No, I feel fine. Somewhat, I feel like I lost myself. Oh, there's a comma at the end there. There's supposed to be a period. Uh-oh, another grammar mistake. Throw the whole thing out, man. Just throw the entire quiz, just delete it. One grammar mistake here. One punctuation mistake, whatever. Yes, I mourn my previous existence. I don't care what form I take as long as I get to carry on. You troubled by the fact that you are no longer strictly human? I probably would. Like, realistically, I probably would have like a little I mean, I'd probably get over it if I were, you know, to live long enough to get over it. Probably would, but it would still be in the back of my mind, like, oh man, I'm not even like human anymore. You know? Like, here's another kind of interesting thing. If this Simon were aware of what just happened, what we saw, that the other Simon was stuck back down there, like the like the other Simon, like that we killed. If he knew that, he would probably say, yes, I mourn my previous existence. He would probably really hate that. He would absolutely be upset if he knew. But here, he has no idea. He just doesn't even like think about it. Which again, that's a thing that like a whole theme of this game. One of the big themes of the game is literally the quote at the beginning. I might actually look that up because I forgot since then. So yeah, the idea of like ignoring reality, and that's kind of how the stuff works. About how, like, the robots see themselves as human, and, like, because their brain, or their mind, I guess. They don't technically have brains, but you know what I mean. Their minds are, like, wired like that. You know, not even just because they're robots. I mean, like, literally. Because it's, like, in order to not go insane, in order to, like, protect itself, the mind makes stuff like that happen. Make you think that's what's going on. I think that's what happened with Simon. Why he kept forgetting how the brain scans work, I think he was just not thinking about it. And his own mind was, like, tuning that out. Even though he literally saw that's how the brain scans work. Like, Catherine even was, like, reprimanding him at the end. Like, I can't keep telling you how the brain scans work. You literally saw it happen. You know how it happens. And a lot of people who've played this game who don't get it, don't understand what was going on, think that Simon is just like a dumb idiot. It's just like, yeah, he's so stupid, you know, he's this dumb character. He didn't realize how the brain scans work. Like, obviously, I called the twist at the end there, but I don't think it's a twist. Like, it's a twist in the most perfect way possible. I don't know, I'm sorry I'm talking about this now. I could just talk about it after all of this, but, like, it's on my mind now, so I don't want to forget it later, so like, the theming is perfect, because, like, the first time I played this game, I was also seeing that, of, like, you know, I was, questioning if Simon was going to get on the Ark or not during the gameplay, because at first you think, okay, you're gonna get the brain scan, and you're gonna get on the Ark. Like, you know, it's whatever. That's gonna be great. You kind of slowly realize that's not how the brain scans work, and it's, I mean, I'm sure, I know a lot of people use this, but it, you know, it works, so that's why that's why people keep using it. But it's, this analogy, it's not cut and paste, it's copy and paste, you know? Like, you're still you after the brain scan. Okay, here we go. I remembered the quote, and by remembered it, I mean I looked it up. The quote right at the beginning of the game. Reality is that which, when you stop believing in it, doesn't go away. Philip K. Dick. And that's, like, what this game is. Like, I mean, that's one of the biggest themes of the game. A lot of the characters ignore reality, or, like, try and, like Simon he believed wholeheartedly that he was going to get on the Ark. He believed that he was going to get on the Ark, even though he was given proof over and over again that that's not how the brain scans work. And he was doing, like, he was doing what the other people were doing a lot of the time when they were uploaded to other robots and stuff. Their brain scans, they were like, I trusted you, Chun. Like, they were blaming her. About, like, you know, they had it in their heads that they were going to get on the Ark. And, that's not what happened with them. So, they blamed Catherine. Like, you lied to us. We trusted you, and you we're not on the Ark, so... And that's why she was so frustrated at the end, too. It's like, I didn't lie, and that's technically the truth, she didn't. But she kept a lot of that to herself. We'll talk about that more later, after I actually finish this, so... I'm gonna have a bigger discussion at the end, but... I wanted to get that off my chest there before I forgot. Like, cause that's how my brain works. Also remember, he does have brain damage, technically. Again, technically he's not, like, technically, he does not have brain damage because his brain, he was a robot. He doesn't have a brain, but his mind, his brain scan had brain damage, so that might contribute to it too. Anyway, are you troubled by the fact that you are no longer strictly human? I'll say no, I feel fine, because that's probably what he's thinking. Maybe, I don't know. How do you perceive your new existence? It's a direct continuation of my previous self, like a new chapter in my life. Or 3, it's like being born all over again, complete do-over. Or 4, it's something completely different and has nothing to do with my previous self. I'd say a direct continuation of my previous self, because that, again, that is how the brain scans work, and from this Simon's perspective, it probably is like that. Like, as of course, this Simon probably would say his previous life would be the original Simon. He wouldn't even, I don't know if he would count his robot lives as previous lives. But, you know, there it is. He would just see it as like one big life, essentially. Like, it's Simon. He's living this whole thing, this whole game is his one life. That's how he would probably think about it. Because, you know, he was the... He still saw himself as Simon, you know? Even though he did question it a little bit. It's like, well, how would you know? Like, of course you think you're the real one. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked again. Do you think this new existence will be a life worth living? Yes, just as much as my previous life. 2, yes, but with less meaning. 3, maybe we can find a new sense of meaning in this world. 4, no. It's too detached from reality and everything I know. So, I'm thinking either the first one or the third one. Because I really like that third one. Maybe we can find a new sense of meaning in this world. Because that is true. Like, I mean, it's true in the sense of, like, it's a possibility. Because they're gonna, like, live in this, like, paradise here. Who knows what troubles they can get into in a paradise, you know what I mean? Where everything's perfect. Could eventually make people bored. You never know what might happen. But, yeah, maybe they can find a new sense of meaning. Whatever that means, you know. But I'm gonna say the first one. Would you rather be removed from the project and accept death? 1, no. 2, maybe I need to think about it. Or 3, yes. That's That's an interesting one. I would say no, but like, at the same time, you could say maybe. I need to think about it. Because like, maybe later on it's not as good as you thought it was, and you're just like, yeah, I just would rather not. I'd rather just accept death. But for now, also no. I will say no. Now there we go. Your answers have been saved. Thank you for participating, the ARC team. Okay, we did it. We finally did it. So yeah, this place is way nicer than the Pathos 2, or whatever Earth looks like. But where is everyone? Probably over there. We've seen pictures of that, like, big city, too.
Catherine? Catherine! I can't believe we actually made it.
Well, we did.
I'm so relieved.
It's okay, Simon. Everything's all right now.
I love this music, too. It's like, it's perfectly, like, melancholic. Is that a word? It's got the perfect blend of melancholy, but like hopefulness, because that is ultimately what it is. It's sad that it was brought to this, but there's hope that, you know, humanity will still thrive and survive along in the Ark. Maybe they find a way to make things even better in the Ark, you know? Like maybe they find a different planet and they're, I don't know, uploaded to something else. There's a lot of things that you can hope. The end. They're not us. And there you go. That is the game, SOMA. It was pretty great. As you can see, that face, that's Catherine. She's more put together at the beginning of the game, but as you go through, and you can see it when you get to the menu a lot. When you're in the main menu, that face gets like broken up a lot more, and you can see the robot behind it, like projecting that image and everything, which is, you know, kind of fascinating in itself. So anyway, so yeah, that's SOMA, and there's a lot that I didn't even like cover. Like recently, I was thinking about the different station names, like, you know, Upsilon and Omicron and you know, all of those. They all have meaning, just like how Soma is Greek for body. They all have like some meaning to them. I don't know, maybe in a future video I might discuss that, but I have to like look it up. I looked up some of them, like for example, Tau, 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 was, it was like, I think it's, I mean, it means like life and, resurrection. Which, oh, I mean, I forgot. This is why I have to, like, do more research on it, because I don't know, but in the station, what happens there, in the Tau station, it had something to do with that, it's like, hang on, the whole thing about it. Alright, okay, Tau is where the last... Oh, yeah. Tau is where we found Sarah Lindwall, who was the last human alive. Unfortunately, we had to kill her there, but you know. And then, like, Theta, which is another system, another station, I mean. It's the symbol of death. And Theta is where Akers killed all those people. Like Terry Akers was, you know, he took over that station and everything. So, like, you know, what happens in each station and what the symbols mean for that station and everything, they have, like, meaning to it. Like, Upsilon, I remember, is, it's like the letter U or something in Greek. It's like, it has something to do with that. Like, it used to be, in the old Greek language or something, it used to be the letter for U, and now, like, a modern, it's, the modern usage of it is I, the letter I. And that definitely reflects, that's Site Upsilon was where we first ended up after Simon's brain scan at the beginning of the game. He ended up in Site Upsilon, so you can easily be like, the old Simon, the original Simon, was you, and that Simon, the robot one, is I, which are the same person. It's you and I. You know? Like, it means that they're the same, despite the fact that they're actually different, like, technically speaking. You know? And I think, the whole thing with the ending, ending like it did, where you see where the Simon, oh god, this is so confusing already. The robot Simon, who was in the process of launching the Ark and doing the brain scan, you see what happens with him first, and then you see what happens with the Simon on the Ark. And they could have easily made it like it was before and have you, like, do the brain scan and then end up on the Ark immediately and then think, oh, we did it, we made it, And then the credits roll, and then after the credits, they show what really happened to the other ones. They could have easily done that, and it would have been either just as effective or... No, I think it still... It would be, like, just as effective, I think. But I like it how it is now. I like that they showed us that first, and then they ended off in the more hopeful side of things, because that's kind of what the point is. That's what Catherine's point is. Like, this is all for just the hope. The hope that they can... that it would work. That the Ark would work, and they can live great lives up on the Ark and everything. I don't know, leaving it on the more depressing part of the Simon, who is now alone on the Earth, just sitting there. I don't know if he can even leave that building. He probably could, but like... I don't know, I think he's probably trapped there, because the Omni-tool broke. So it's not like he can leave. You know, he would have to find a way out. So, like... And the ironic thing is that we don't have someone other than him. We don't have another Simon to, like, peacefully kill him in his sleep like we did with the other Simon. He's just trapped there. You know? And without Catherine, because she broke. Like, that's it. The Omni-tool broke and Catherine is no more. But yeah, I like the way it ends, though. With the more hopeful side of things. It's like, yes, it did work. And we just have to see it float off into space. Hopefully it still makes it out there, you know? We saw how the Earth looks. I wonder if I can load my game. Oh, look at that. I can actually do it. I can actually load my game. So if you wanted to, you can just do that. You can't continue though, because there's no more. There's just nothing else to the game. But yeah, okay. So the stuff with Catherine. Catherine is a very interesting character. I mean, I pointed out a lot to do with her already, but you know, her very weird characteristics of her, like she's not really a people person. You know, she likes to sort of she sort of just likes to keep it to herself and her project and stuff. So we touched on that. But the thing is, another thing that's really interesting about Catherine, why she's a very great character, is that a lot of the time that Simon brings stuff up to her, she usually lets him think the way that he was thinking. Like what she said at the end, she was like, I didn't lie, which technically, yes, that is true. She never lied to him. But she did, I think, she let Simon think certain ways, and she never really corrected him. You know, or like she just tried to change the subject and stuff. Like when he's talking about like all this philosophical stuff, like, oh, do we have souls, or like if there's an afterlife, do we get to go there or after we die, or is our spot taken by the original versions of us? She doesn't really engage with that stuff. She doesn't talk about it. And I think that's probably intentional. But like there's only one thing on her mind, and that's getting the Ark project done and launching it into space. That is her main goal. And and every time Simon assumes how the brain scans actually work, or how he assumes how the brain scans work. And she never corrects him. I think she knows that he's wrong, but she never like explains to him. She never explains to him outright, like, oh, this is how the brain scans work, just as a reminder to you. You know, because I think that's it, because if Simon, she knows how Simon reacts to this stuff, and she doesn't want him to freak out so much that so much. No, never mind. It was like SOMA. Never mind. She doesn't want him to freak out so much that he doesn't continue on with this mission here, or like that he breaks down mentally, of course, not just because he's a robot. I mean, she's stuck in a box, essentially. She's trapped in there, so it's not like she can do anything else if he no longer wants to do this, you know, or no longer wants to launch the Ark, or no longer can, you know? So that, so yeah, I think she lets him sort of believe certain things that he believes during the game, because she doesn't want him to stop. She wants him to keep going. She kind of needs him, you know, to help. And her freaking out at the end was her actually, like, finally just letting it all out, essentially. Just like, I didn't lie, okay? I can't be, she says, I can't be held responsible for your ignorance. And it's like, I mean, she's got a point. She explained how the brain scans work multiple times. She did say, like, this is how they work, you know, like, you can't copy over your brain scan to a new body and then just, you know, not like your old self doesn't exist anymore and you're the new one. Like, your self exists still after the scan. I don't know, that's just an interesting thought process there. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. And I think, like, another example would be back when, before we reached Omicron, I think that's where you get the new suit. And you have to make another brain scan so that you can get into the new body. I think before that, when they were talking about going into the abyss, you know, having to put on a new suit to withstand the pressure, and Simon had some concerns about that. It was like, oh, am I gonna be able to fit in the new suit or something? He was saying, like, don't I need something to for the pressure? And I think Catherine even at that time was like, oh yeah, you should fit in the suit, if I remember correctly. Like, you should fit in it. Now, either that was her just letting Simon believe that he would be able to fit, or she was kind of hoping that he would be able to fit, but she didn't bring up the idea that, oh, you might not fit in the suit. It's more of a, like, oh, we have to solve this problem right now, and we'll worry about it when we get there, kind of thing. Which is what happened. We got there, and then she was all like, okay, well, you're gonna need to transfer your body over. You're gonna need to transfer your scan over. So I think she was thinking about it. She had it on her mind of like, okay, how is Simon gonna get into the new suit? Because it's not gonna fit over his own body right now. And then when we got there, we figured out that, oh, we can, there's a suit with a body already in it. So we can just do what happened with you right now. We can stick a robot in there, you know, for eyes, so you can see. We can get the structure gel and, you know, attach it all up in there. And power it all up, and you can get a brain scan and transfer your scan over to the new body. And I think that she was trying to shut down that previous Simon before the new Simon can discover what happened. But she was too late, and he heard the other Simon speak, saying, oh, I think something's wrong. Because the brain scan, to him, to his perspective, it didn't work. Because he got the brain scan and nothing happened. So he was like, oh, I think is there a glitch or something? Like, it didn't work. But it did work. And, yeah. The new Simon. Simon 3, I'll call him. Simon 1, or, if you will, Simon Alpha. The Greek letter for, it's the first letter, I think. Which I mentioned already. That's where the WoW was in Station Alpha, but... So Simon Alpha, the original, is Simon 1. And then, after that first brain scan, the Simon 2, who we were playing as for a while. And then we got transferred over to Simon 3. I forgot what I was talking about. It's like, what was I discussing before that? So yeah, it's just like Simon 3 was not happy about it, which technically is still the same Simon. You know, it's a giant, just, it's just, it ruins, messes with your head, you know, messes with your brain. And that's the true horror of this game. Just knowing Simon 3's fate is still, he's just alone, trapped on Earth. While the newest Simon 4, is living it up on the Ark with Catherine. Which again, Catherine on the Ark did not let Simon know. She was keeping that to herself again. Because that Catherine knows how the brain scans work, and to Simon, the Ark Simon, he thinks that they made it, you know, from his perspective. He's like, yeah, I got my brain scan and I'm here. We made it. And she's not gonna tell him the truth now. Like, what would be the point? You're just gonna mess with his head more. So she just like played into it, like, yep, we made it. We did it. Everything's gonna be okay now. And the stuff with the coin toss, we could talk about that. The Simon proposed this idea earlier in the game. That it's just like a big coin. Oh my god, a big coin toss, not a coin toss. A coin toss. About like whether or not you get into the new body, or if you're just gonna stay yourself. Now, in a literal sense, that's not how the brain scans work. Like, there is actually no coin toss, technically. Like, if you get your brain scanned, you're gonna stay yourself, and that's how it works. Like, from your perspective, you know, like that's it. Like you get your brain scanned, that's it, and you're staying how you are. And the new you on the Ark, you know, hopefully if you got on the Ark, but the Ark you, the brain scan you, from their perspective, they're still you, but they got on. So it's more of a metaphorical thing. The coin toss being like from their perspective, they won the coin toss because it's like I went in, got my brain scanned, and I did it. Here I am. Because like mentally speaking, they are you. Like just before that, they got their brain scan. Like in their own memories, that's what happened. They have all of the memories of living life before the brain scan. So they're still you, technically, from their perspective. And from their perspective, they would say, oh yeah, I won the coin toss. It's kind of like, actually, I was, this is going to seem off topic, but I was watching Invincible, the show Invincible. I mean, I saw it a while ago, season 1, and I finally got around to watching season 2, or what's out from season 2. I highly recommend that show. It's really good. Anyway, what happens with the Mahler twins? The two big blue guys that are... They have like a similar concept in that, where it's actually just one guy who cloned himself. And they have this system in place where their minds get erased when, or not, just a little piece of them gets swapped around and stuff, where that when they wake up after they get cloned, that they don't, neither of them know which one was the original and which one is the clone. I think they explained it in the first season, but I haven't seen it in a while. But I think it is because they, I mean, you know, in season 2 they show you why. Because this is like, no spoilers or anything, but something happens to the other one of them, the original one, to where they have to, they know which one is the original in this case. They have to clone him. He has to clone himself again because his other clone died. So he clones himself, and this time they actually do know which one of them is the real one and which one is the clone. And the clone ends up killing him, like poisoning him. And this isn't that much of a spoiler. This is like, this doesn't spoil any like plot relevance stuff. So we're fine on that. It's just like a scene that we see it. Because like, you know, he was treating him as the inferior because he's a clone. And like made him his slave pretty much. It's like making him do stuff. And he poisoned him and killed him. And he's like, yep, this is why. This is why we don't let it be known which one is the real one and which one is the clone. Because they're just going to turn on each other. Which is what happened. Anyway, so from their perspective, that's how it would work. When they woke up and he was like, actually, I'm the real clone, we know this for a fact here. And the other one, the clone, was freaking out. I was like, what? I remember everything. I remember all that thing. How could I be the clone? And it's like, well, doesn't matter. You know? And even in the first season, someone else uses that technology to clone himself. Again, I'm not gonna say who because of spoilers, but it's a different person using their technology to clone themselves, and you can see how it works. While they're getting cloned, they sort of see each other. They're like seeing in the process of it. They're like seeing their own what's going on out of each of their eyes. Like both of them are sort of seeing what the other is seeing too at the same time. But of course, in that point, in that episode, in that brain scan, you can tell which one is the original. Like, they don't look exactly the same. But, and it's just interesting because, I think the original person doesn't survive. And, I don't know, maybe that's too much of a spoiler, but I don't know. I'm not saying who it is. So you can rest assured. But, like, it's just, and the new one, the clone, is saddened by that because it's like, well, I thought it was you, like, because they're seeing out of each other's eyes at first, like, that's how it sort of happening. And technically speaking, he, like, won the coin toss, the metaphorical coin toss, because he, I said he, or she, okay, they, the clone, the new one, like, even apologized. It was like, I'm sorry it wasn't you, you know, who got to be in it. Because, again, from his perspective, the clone's perspective, he is him. Like, he has all of his memories and everything. Like, that was all there, but he is now the clone. And he's just, like, apologizing to the original. Because, you know what, it's sad. And, that reminded me a lot of how the brain scans work in this game. It's all there. But yeah, there's so much. There's a lot in this game to think about, especially after the ending. Which, by the way, I think I went on a tangent before, but I forgot to talk about this. But the ending, I like how it ends this way more. I'm gonna go back to that. So where we see the brain scan happen, and then we see the aftermath of the brain scan with that Simon and Catherine, and it's like, what happened? We're not on the Ark. And it's like, yeah, we are actually. And Catherine's like, yeah, we are. It's like, but yeah. So we see what happens with that Simon on Earth first, and then the credits, and then we see what happened to them on the Ark. And I like that. Instead of showing us the brain scan and then having us be on the Ark, and then after the credits we see what really happened with the other ones. I like this one more because during the game, the first brain scan that happened, we saw what happened like after the brain scan with the new Simon, and not the one who originally got the brain scan. So we've done it like twice during the game. We got the brain scan and we like transfer over immediately to the new Simon from his perspective. We did that the first time at the beginning of the game, and then later on we had to transfer our brain over again, our brain scan over to the new suit so we can, progress. And we see it from that new body, the new Simon's perspective, where we got the brain scan and immediately transferred over. But now we're seeing it from that perspective. We're finally seeing the brain scan work in the actual way it works. You know, it puts that false hope into your mind a little bit, where you're like, oh, maybe this is how this brain scan will work. You know, the other brain scans, they work this way, but maybe this one will actually end up on the Ark, and it'll be cut and paste instead of copy and paste this time. But nope. And we see that happen. It's copy and paste, not cut. So, and we see it happen this time, and we can no longer deny that reality. Like, this is how it works, and you should have known all along that's how it's gonna work. But there was still that little crumb of hope. But yeah. And of course, the stuff with like, why I like it ending this way is because, like I said before about the whole hope thing, it ends so perfectly because it's like, that's Catherine's whole point about, hope. And it's like, we don't know if it'll work, sure, but we can hope that it will work, and that they'll live great lives up on the Ark, and it'll be great. You know? So yeah, it's a phenomenal game. I loved it. I did have to think about it a lot after that, though. I got, after that ending, the ending, oh, I know I'm gushing about it so much, but it's so true. The ending is so perfect, because it's just like, it's got that melancholy feel about like how we see what Earth looks like, and it looks pretty rough, and we're seeing, but we see the Ark, and we hear Catherine saying, "We did it. We made it." And Simon saying, "I can't believe we did it. We made it." And Catherine's like, "Oh yeah, we won't believe it. We did it. Everything's gonna be okay now." And we see the Ark launch into space, and but on the back of our minds, we know that it's like a new Simon and Catherine. Like, the old Simon is alone on Earth, about to die, pretty much. Like, he's just left there to die. However long a robot can live, you know what I mean? Like, and he can't even use the WoW either. He can't even wait for the WoW to like attach him again. Which could be seen as another reason to keep it alive. Now that you know what happens at the end, maybe some people would make different choices. Being like, oh, well, the WoW maybe the old Simon, if you kept the WoW alive, maybe you can maybe he can figure out a way to go back and let Terry Akers attach him to the WoW again, and he can live out his fantasies. His fantasy life. That would be preferable to nothing. Or at least some people will think that. Others will be like, nah, I'd rather just die than be attached to that disgusting stuff. And knowing that it's not real. And the thing about the choices in the game, the choices are great because they don't actually affect the game. they don't you don't get any different endings or different like achievements or anything like that for choosing different stuff. All of the achievements in the game, I think I have all of them now that I've played through all of it. Because they're all story achievements. Like you progress through the story and you get achievements. I don't think your choices have anything to do with that. The choices don't choose the choices don't affect the ending. They don't affect anything. Except, you know, well, they do affect things in the universe of the game, but they don't affect anything gameplay-wise to you, the player. It's all up to you, and that's what I love about this game. It forces you to make those choices that you really don't want to make in a lot of cases. Some of them are easy choices, like Sarah Lindwall wanting to die, even though she's the last human on Earth. But she's living a very horrible existence and is telling you that she wants to die. That's an easy choice, even though it's sad, you know? Like, it's not an ideal choice, but it is an easy one, I'd say. But, like, and you get other ones like Robin Bass. She was a robot. She thought she was on the Ark. But you knew the truth. We know what's really happening there. I chose to unplug her, but like, if I decided to destroy the WoW at the end, she probably will just die anyway. But it would just, you know, take a little while. Because she's plugged up to the WoW. But yeah, I still kind of regret that. I should have just let her live. I don't know, like, I still feel bad about it. That's the thing. Like, I've made all these choices before. That's why I was able to just choose them quickly and enough. You know, I already made my choice because I've already thought about it so long. But the first time I played this game, I had to really think about it for a while. Just like, I don't know what I should do here. And you don't see the results of your choices. Except, you know, if you kill them. If you let them live, though, I mean, you have no idea what's going to happen with them. Robin could have lived long enough to realize what's going on and realize that she's just trapped at the bottom of the ocean. Like, and can't do anything about it. Maybe she realizes that she's not on the Ark. Maybe she never realizes and just is defying reality enough so that her mind doesn't get scrambled. Like Carl. Gotta bring up Carl. I haven't brought him up in a couple parts of this playthrough, I think. Gotta keep bringing up Carl. Like how he assumed that he was a human. He was like denying reality. But even though you're denying it, doesn't make it go away. Just like the quote. You know. And who's to say that the WoW wouldn't have saved humanity? Maybe Ross is wrong. And eventually it'll figure out a way to make their lives, the people who are hooked up to it, maybe it can find a way, eventually, it can come up with a way to make their lives better? Like, at least, you know, good enough to live in like a fantasy life or something like that. You know, like the Ark. Technically, that's they're not humans, but they're the best equivalent to humans. They're perfect brain scans of humans who act and think like humans. But, like Simon said, they're not us. They're technically not us. But Catherine is the other way of thinking. Of just like, well, I mean, they're our equivalent. They're us in a way. They're close enough. You know. She even hit him with the she even hit him with the I'm sorry you feel that way. You know. The usual Twitter apology, you know. I'm sorry you feel that way, but yeah. So yeah, this is already getting a bit too long, but yeah, it's just, this game is phenomenal, and there's a ton of stuff that I didn't even talk about still that I might think about later on after I stop recording, that I'll, like, you know, be mad at myself for forgetting. It's like, oh, I should have talked about that. That's such an interesting perspective. That's why replaying this game is great. And I think, like I said before, I mean, I think I said this before, but playing a new game and putting it on safe mode is a great way to explore more, because the monsters can't kill you in safe mode. So some of them still chase you. I've played on it before, and some of them still chase you and attack you, but like you just wake up and you don't actually get damaged. So, you know, it's still scary in a way sometimes. But other monsters, they just kind of stand there and they just ignore you, or like maybe they see you and they just stare at you. And some of them are kind of funny, actually, like that big the monster that was like it was the last one before we reached the Ark. Before we reached Sarah Lindwall and the Ark. That one in the scuba suit had tentacles coming out of its helmet and everything. I think when I was playing this game on safe mode, that was one of the ones that just like doesn't do much. If it sees you, it just like sort of stares at you, and you can walk up to it and it like backs away from you. So it's just like, I mean, that's the thing. It kind of makes the game significantly less scary. It kind of makes it funny sometimes. Like the monsters become less threatening. That's the downside to playing safe mode. Because I could just walk up to him and he's like, no, back away. Like he backs away. It's like, don't touch me. And I just think that's really funny. He just runs away. Like, it's like, all right, I guess bye. But yeah, I recommend safe mode still, because you can, I mean, if you want to. If you play normal mode first, obviously. That's what I did. I regretted it immediately because I was horrified. Don't do well with scary games, but but there it is. But yeah, safe mode is great for exploring, and because you don't have the fear of dying, so you could just explore more, get some more context to what was going on, get more Easter eggs and all that. So yeah, it's just, it's great. And I don't know, maybe maybe next time. Maybe I'll take a little break, of course, from horror games, but maybe the next one I pick will be you know, a game that I haven't played, because I've played this one many times, but okay, well, many being like at least 3 before this one, at least 3 times, and this would be the 4th, probably. So I've played it a couple times now. That's why I wasn't as scared as I could have been. So maybe in the future I'll play Amnesia: The Dark Descent. That's the game that came before this by the same people, the same studio, Frictional Games. Because, believe it or not, I have not played that one. I've only played this game. Because this one actually, you know, interested me. With the story and everything. But who knows? I might play that one. You know, get some, because that one is famously really scary, and a lot of people loved it. And when this game came out, people were very disappointed because it's different in a way, in a lot of ways, and that's really sad because this game was really good. It's really scary. Like mentally, like in a psychological way. It really makes you think. And a lot of people dismissed it when it came out. It's just like, nah, it's not that scary because, you know, the monsters aren't that scary. Like, whatever. I don't really get it. Like, a lot of people just didn't get it. You know, and I don't mean to sound like I'm above anyone else intellectually. I'm just saying there's a lot of people who don't get it. Okay, that's and that's fine. But I mean, there's literally a video that people are now starting to make fun of. I think that's called "SOMA is not a horror game," or maybe it's not called that. Maybe, but that's like his first thing that he says. It's like, it's not scary. And it's like, you can't make that claim, dude. Like, even if it didn't scare you specifically, like, it's still a horror game. Like, come on. You can't just say that. And because of that video, a lot of people kind of turn their noses up at this game. Like, oh, look at that. But yeah, it's just sad. And I wish Frictional Games made more like this. But then apparently they made another Amnesia game, or like it's DLC kind of thing, or like it's a sequel or something, like that nobody liked at all. You know, so I heard that there's like a jump scare mechanic in the game. It sounds really annoying. Like, I don't remember how it works exactly, but it's like as time goes on, there's like a meter or something that gets filled up, and when it does get filled up all the way, like, jump scares just happen to you. And they're really annoying. That's what I've heard. I haven't played the game or anything, but that sounds really, really annoying, so that's why at the beginning of the playthrough I was like jokingly being like, oh, they made Amnesia, The Dark Descent, and Soma, and then that's it. They didn't make any other games, like, because nobody likes the newest games that they made. But yeah, it's just sad. You know, the last time I checked though, they were like looking for new artists and stuff. Like maybe they're gonna make a new game eventually, at some point. But yeah, I don't know. As of right now, I think they're like kind of not doing anything. I don't know. I don't know. It's just sad. It's like they made a great game here, and probably the other game, Amnesia, is also good, but I don't know. I haven't played it. That's that game that got a lot of Let's Players were playing it at the time, and you know, blowing up on YouTube because of it. Like PewDiePie played it. That's one of his most famous Let's Plays. It's where the barrel meme came from. You know, if anyone's listening to this and just they don't even know at all, like, you're too young, but I was there. I was there when PewDiePie was playing Amnesia and Happy Wheels and stuff, you know. And Heavy Rain and all that. I think Jacksepticeye played it. Amnesia, I mean. You know, a lot of Let's Players were playing that one and getting a lot of views because people like seeing people get scared. And who knows, I might play it in the future, but right now, I think I'll take a break from horror games from this one. But, you know, I might play another game after this. I've been playing a little bit of, like, Shovel Knight. I might upload those at some point. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but for right now, I think we're gonna end it. And again, as soon as I end it, I'm probably gonna think of another thing to talk about with this game, because there's so much. There's a lot to think about and to talk about in this game. It just never ends. So yeah, that was Soma. Great game. Oh, whoops. I have the mouse now. Great game. I mean, I know I just played through the entire thing, but I still recommend people play it because it's just fantastic, and you might notice things that I didn't notice. You know, like there's a lot going on in this stuff in the game that I did not explore more of that you could probably find, you know, and make different choices and what your what your reasoning is for it. Like, it's all up to you. The choices are all on you and what you think is right. You know, that's what's so good about this game. So yeah, I think that'll be it for now. Goodbye. Yeah, that's it. See you all next time. Whatever game I decide to play next. I don't know, but we'll see. And yeah, goodbye. For the final time. Final as in, you know, for now. Goodbye.